Alright, Shalom to Brother Shamar from Phoenix. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, QUADASH. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to your brothers out there doing this work in truth, sincerity, man. So real quick, I want to get into the lesson how the Lord promised a reward for the men that do this work. Even the apostles, they asked about what will our reward would be. What are we going to get for going through the hell that we're going through and sacrificing the things that we sacrifice, man? And the Lord plainly told me, you're going to receive a great reward. And the Lord being a just and judge power, He's going to reward those sincere men, those elect men that do this work with sincerity, with truth and sincerity, man. With that, I want to get Hebrews 6 and 10. For Yahawah is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. So it has to be a labor of love, man. It has to be something that you love doing. Your work, just doing this truth. If you're not doing it willingly, then you just going through the motions. You're going through the motions like Eli's wicked sons did, man, in the book of Samuel. They were going through the motions. They weren't doing this work willingly. And what did the Lord give them? He gave them death. Because they were partial with the law, man, and they were unrighteous with the Lord's portion. So to receive this reward, we have to do this as a labor of love. We have to do this willingly. And with that, I'm gonna get I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna get 1 Corinthians 9 and 17 to show you the mentality that we're supposed to have in doing this work, man. This is 1 Corinthians 9 and 17, and it says It says, for I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. So that's the only way you're gonna get a reward if you doing this work, willingly. If you're doing this work out of a labor of love. If you unsincere about this truth, unsincere about doing this work, going through the motions of being in this truth, then it don't matter what you do, man. You ain't gonna get nothing because you're wicked. You're unsincere, and the Lord's only gonna reward those men that do this work out of love, that do this work out of willingness. If I do this, I'm going to read that back, 1 Corinthians 9:17. If I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. So that scripture right there shows you that, to do this work, you got to want to do this work. That spirit got to be on you to willingly, to love to do this work, to love to teach, to love to get into the scriptures, to love to study, man, to love to be about this truth, to love to be about this brotherhood, man. I know sometimes we have to fight the flesh, sometimes, we get weary from our jobs or we get sick. I'm sick right now, but that made no fucking difference, man. We gotta continue to strive, man. We gotta continue to do this work because we love doing it. We love getting into the word. We love learning, man. We love being brotherly to the men that we serve with, man, on the highways and hedges. I'm going to read that back, Hebrews 6 and 10. For Yahawah is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name. So that's the work that we are doing. We do this out of love, man, and toward the name of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI. So that he gets all the glory, man. We're not out here to make a name for ourselves or to be some type of celebrity or to look deep or so on and so forth to show people how knowledgeable we are about the scriptures. That's all besides the point. Yeah, brothers have knowledge of the scriptures. Yeah, brothers can break down, deep things in the scriptures. But that's not what the point is, man. It don't matter if you're a fucking eloquent speaker or you have a stuttering problem or whatever it is, man. You don't have to be the greatest reader, the greatest speaker. You just got to do this out of love, out of sincerity. That's the key word. That's the key thing. So this got to be a labor of love that we show toward the name of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, and that's the goal, man. The glory of the name of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, man. And that word, that glorifying of this word, is going to bring in the elect, because those elect men are going to have that same spirit in them to love this word, man, to be about this word, be about this work and this truth. I'm going to read that back, Hebrews 6 and 10. For Yahawah is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. And that's what we do. We go on the highways and hedges. We make these videos, man. We minister to the saints, those elect, and other brothers, man. And we do minister, and we continue to do so, man. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope until the end. And so this labor of love requires diligence, man. This labor of love requires that you constantly be about it. I'm going to read verse 12, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises, man. And that's the reward. The reward of the promises that were made to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And those blessings, man. With that, I want to get 2 Timothy 4 and 8. This is 2 Timothy 4 and 8. It says, henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but also unto them that love his appearing. And who are the men that are going to love his appearing? The men that were doing this work, the men that were diligent in this work, the men that were sincere and wholehearted and not slothful and diligent and striving and running the race and doing everything they can, using their talents and their abilities to do this work. They're going to love the appearing of the Lord. But to those that knew that they were doing it out of falsehood, or they were just going through the motions of it, they're not going to love the appearing of the Lord, because they know the Lord's coming to kill them. So the elect are going to love the appearing of the Lord, because they're finally going to see their salvation coming nigh, man. They're finally going to get that exit that we always been talking about, man. Brothers always talking about getting the fuck out of here. And that exit is coming, man. That the Lord in his appearing is going to bring salvation and order and truth upon the earth, man. I'm going to read that back. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, that reward, man, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. Not to me only, but unto all them that love his appearing. So Paul had that reward, that he had that mindset of receiving that reward, man. They have a saying in the world, keep your eye on the prize, man. And that's the mentality that you got to have to encourage yourself and encourage other brothers, to continue to do this work, man. And don't take it for granted, man, the grace that given unto you to know these scriptures and to have the ability to do this work, man. Because this ability and this faith and this talent to do these things is not given unto every man. And if it's given unto you, man, hey, man, rejoice. Rejoice, man. Because it's not given to every man. The Lord has put a covering cast on the majority of our people. So us receiving this gift of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, we have to wholeheartedly use it, man. Like the scripture says, we got to take our talent our money to the money changers, man, and increase it. We got to increase what we've been given. How do we do that? By feeding the flock, by doing the work, man. Plain and simple. By being diligent, by studying, by being a brother. All the things that go with this brotherhood, man. All the beautiful things, because all these things are beautiful, man. To have this truth, it's a beautiful thing. It's a special gift, and all reverence should be paid towards it, man. With that, I want to get Deuteronomy 32 and I think it's 4. I'll find it. Yeah, Deuteronomy 32 and 4 says, He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a power of truth, and without iniquity, just and right is he. So his ways are perfect. So one of his ways is what? And his way, for all his ways are judgment, and one of his ways is what? So it's perfect for the Lord to give you reward for your work. It's just for the Lord to give you a reward for doing his work. It's proper judgment for the Lord to give you reward for doing this work, man. For sacrificing what we sacrifice, for giving our lives as a reasonable sacrifice, man. Why? Because that's what YAHAWAHSHI did. He gave his life. He gave his life as a reasonable sacrifice, and he was put for what? For our example. And what did YAHAWAHSHI say? That we have to bear our cross. So we have to what did YAHAWAHSHI do? He bore his cross to the death. So what do we have to do? YAHAWAHSHI said that we have to bear our cross daily. So we have to do the same thing. We have to bear a cross. We have to sacrifice our life, man. We have to we give our life as a real sacrifice, just like YAHAWAHSHI did, to the death, man. And what does the scripture say? He that loveth his life shall lose it. So those men that love their comfort of this world and don't sacrifice or give their life to this truth, they're gonna lose it. But he that loses life loses his life to this world, gives his life as a reasonable sacrifice, he shall find it. So and that's how we get a reward, man, by giving our body as a reasonable sacrifice. And a reasonable sacrifice, man. It's reasonable. If you consider the reward that the Lord's going to give us, us giving our life for this truth is reasonable. It's not equated to the gift and the reward that we're going to get from YAHAWAHSHI for doing His work, man. With that, I want to get Matthew 25th chapter. This is Matthew, the 25th chapter. I'll start at 35, I think. And then I'll go Salakia. It says, I'll start at 35. It says, for I was hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when we saw thee hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink. When we saw thee stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee. Or when we saw thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee. And the king answered, and said unto them, verily I say, insomuch as ye done to one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So the brotherhood is very important, man, in feeding the flock, which we are called to do, and taking care of the flock and being concerned about the state of our flock, the state of the flock of Israel. Because if you're out there preaching His word, man, then you're feeding the flock, man. You're feeding the elect. You're feeding them, which is hungry. You're clothing them spiritually, man. This is not saying you go find a fucking homeless fucking bum and you eat a might bum or whatever, and you buy him a fucking hamburger or some shit like that. This is talking about the brotherhood, because it plainly says, where does it say that, Salakia? In verse 40, Salakia. In verse 40, it says, "You have done it unto one at least of these of my brethren. You have done it unto me." So this basically this talking about taking care of the brotherhood, man. Because that's what said, my brethren. It wasn't talking about the rest of the world. It wasn't talking about these Edomites or these heathens out there. If they starving, or they fucking naked and homeless, hey, the Lord got them like that. I mean, yeah, if you're supposed to help the poor, man. Once in a while you see a out of luck Jake, and you got a couple of dollars on you, that that could be an angel. You can give a few dollars or whatever you got to help that man. That could be an angel, man. But this is talking about the brotherhood right there. It's talking about doing the work, because when we do the work, we feeding the flock, man. That's why the scripture said, when I was hungry, you gave me meat. And what is that meat, man? That meat is this word, man. Doing this work. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. And what does the scripture say? This is the living waters, man. And what did YAHAWAHSHI tell the woman at the well? She said, the waters that I give you, you shall drink, and thirst no more. I was a stranger, and you took me in. You told that stranger, that Israelite foreigner, of who he really was. He was a Hebrew Israelite. He didn't, that man, they probably didn't know that before. Naked, and you clothed me. And how do we clothe those people? It's all spiritual, man. We clothe them with a righteous garment. We give them the ability to put on a righteous garment, which is this truth. Not us willing, but the Lord using us to do so. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer say, Lord, when we saw thee hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink. When we saw thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee. When we saw thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee. And the king shall answer, and say unto them, verily I say unto you, much you have done unto at least of these brothers, you have done unto me. So that's talking about doing His work, man. And that's talking about receiving that reward. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil's angels. For I was hungered, ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, ye visited me not. Then shall they answer him, saying, Lord, when we saw thee hunger, or thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, then I ministered unto thee. Then shall answer them, saying, verily I say unto you, as much you did it not to one of the least of these, you did it not to me. And these shall go away everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So the righteous are going to get the reward for doing this work, man. For doing this work. The only the men, the elect men, only the righteous men are going to do this work sincerely. They're going to be concerned about the flock. Are going to be concerned about our, about doing this work, which is work. Why do we do this work? To call in the elect, man. To bring forth the elect, man. To be those fishers of men. With that, I want to get Mark 9:41. I think it is. This is Mark 9:41. It says, for whosoever shall give you a cup of water and the drink in my name, because you belong to YAHAWAHSHI, well and sin that he shall not lose his reward. For the Lord's gonna, for all the works that we do, man, the Lord's gonna reward us. The Lord. So basically, what the scripture is saying, the Lord takes account of all of our works, man. He takes account of our works from the smallest to the greatest, because not every man is given the same talent and ability. But we are all given some type of talent and ability, whether how great or how small that is. As long as you're using it with sincerity, you'll get your due reward. Some men he gave more talent, man. Some men he gave more abilities. There's some men that he gave more faith, man. But whatever faith and talent the Lord has given you, you must use that faith and talent to receive that reward, man. You use what the Lord has given you. You take your money to the money changers, and that's exactly what we do when we do this work, man. With that, I'm gonna get 2 Chronicles 15:7. Oh, Salakia. 2 Chronicles 15, and I think it's 7. It says, be ye strong, therefore, and let your not hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. So we have to be strong in this truth, man. We can't let our hands be weak in this truth. We can't be slothful in this truth. We got to remain diligent, and diligence is required in doing this work out of love, man. Like the scripture says, as a labor of love, man. Not being slothful. Be strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. And that's the scripture that we really got to meditate on, by having that strength to do this work, no matter what we're going through or what situation life throws our way, man. There's a saying in the world, I forgot where I heard it, but it says something to the effect that you can't control what happens to you, but you can control your reaction to it, basically. So, and our reaction has to be a strong reaction. Our reaction has to be a diligent reaction, man. And whatever happens to it, we got to continue to do this work. That's why Scripture says, be ye strong, therefore. So, the Scripture, the Lord is telling us to be strong, that we have to be strong, man. And why would the Lord tell us to be strong unless there was going to be some type of a challenge thrown upon us where we're going to have to use strength? And let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. And let your hands be weak, let not your hands be feeble. So there's got to be some type of tiredness some kind of adversity is going to come upon us, so we're going to need strength. So we're going to need to push ourselves for our hands not to be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. And with doing these things and for pushing ourselves and exerting ourselves, our work is going to be rewarded, man. Like the scripture says, man, you got to run the race, And with that, I want to get Proverbs 15:13. This is Proverbs 15:13. And it says, a merry heart, that's not it, Salakia. Salakia says, Proverbs 13:13 says, whoso despises the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. What is that commandment, man? To do this work, to love the Most High with all our minds, soul, and spirit, and strength, man. And to love the brotherhood, and to fear the Lord. We're going to get reward for doing that. Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed. So those that despise his word, and how do you despise the word? By not obeying it, by not taking heed to it. And that's the majority of the 2/3 out here. The so-called Black and Native Americans, you despise the word, man, because you don't want to take heed unto it. You don't want to listen to it. You want to turn your back from it. You prefer the comforts of this world. So you despise the word because this word, it commands that you sacrifice. This word commands that you don't be about yourself. This word commands that you don't do what you want to do. This word commands the fear of the Lord. That's why it says, he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. And only those that do this work sincerely and truthfully and sacrifice for this truth, only those are the men that are going to get the reward, man. Was that I want to get 1 Corinthians 3:8. 1 Corinthians 3:8. And it says, now he that planteth and he that waters are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So every man that does his work, whatever talent that he has, he shall receive his reward according to his own labor, according to the works that he has done, according to how he used the talent and ability that the Lord has given him. And what happens when you plant and water? Then you grow fruit. So in those fruits of our work, for we are laborers together with Yahawah. You are God's husbandry. You are Yahawah's building. I'll read that back. For we are laborers together with Yahawah. You are Yahawah's husbandry. You are Yahawah's building. According to the grace of Yahawah which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, another man builds thereon. And that's what we do today, man. We were building upon the foundation that was set forth by the elders and apostles, great millstone, starting from Elder Tahar, Elder Gabar, Elder Ramlaban down. We were building on the foundation that the Lord gave those men. We were building on that foundation. That foundation, what? That sure foundation of the truth, of the 100% doctrine. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. So we gotta be careful how we treat this work, how we treat this truth, man. We gotta be careful how we doing these things. We gotta do with utmost reverence and sincerity and truth. For no other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is YAHAWAHSHI, which is the truth, man. So there's no other way. There's no other way but this truth. There's no other way to receive the reward but by doing this work in truth, by having the 100% doctrine. With that, I'm going to get 1 Corinthians, Salakia, 2 John 7 and 8. I'm in it, 1 and 8. I don't know what I was talking about. It said, look to yourself that we lose not those things which we have wrought, but that we receive a full reward. So look unto ourselves, man, that we lose not those things. So we got to grasp home, and we got to grasp a hold and cleave onto this truth, that we lose not those things, that we stay focused and motivated and diligent in this truth, man, to what? To receive the reward. It said, look to yourself. So take heed of yourself, examine yourself, man, that we lose not those things that we have wrought. Be mindful, man, that don't let yourself slip, man. No, like they say in the world, don't get caught slipping, man. Which we have wrought, the work that we have done, the foundation that's been built, that we are building upon, starting, this 100% doctrine, starting from the elders and apostles, great millstone, that we receive a full reward. So you gotta be mindful how you move and shake in this truth, man. You gotta make sure that your things you're doing are just and correct, and the things that come out your mouth are just and correct, and how you treat a brother is just and correct. We gotta think upon these things, man. We're gonna slip and fall from time to time, but that's where we get that grace from. And therefore we have this brotherhood to exhort us and so be it, to rebuke us from time to time. With that, I'm gonna close it out on Revelations 22 and 12, because this is from YAHAWAHSHI himself, man, talking about reward. This is Revelations 22 and 12. And it says, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. And so the Lord is coming. So the Lord is coming with a reward with him, man. The Lord is coming not only to destroy the wickedness of this earth, but also to give reward unto those men. So that's a beautiful, man. That should give you hope. That should give you encouragement. That should motivate you to go out there and push, man. And Most High willing, man, hope the lesson was edifying to brothers, man. Keep on pushing you, encourage, and provoke another to good works, man. Keep on doing this thing, man. To be about it, man. And with that, I hope it was edifying. That one say, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI. Shalom.